Nintendo, I don't show names or images of unreleased Pokemon. No copyright strike, please. I'm okay with the takedown. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like, share with your friends, comment your thoughts down below. Let's talk about the new abilities. So this list has updated and gotten a lot more detailed since I last checked it out, and that was already a crazy ride. So let's see what is going on, starting off with Lingering Aroma. Contact with Pokemon may change the attacker's ability to Lingering Aroma. So it's the Mummy ability, but on the male version of Lechonk's evolution. The stats are looking pretty decent, so that's like where we get this weird crossover. Watch my video breaking down the stats, then watch this one, or watch my new move breakdown when that comes out. Just subscribe and hit the notification bell and check out my playlists and descriptions and stuff. That way we can keep up to date as the game comes out and things get absolutely insane. But then you'll be caught up and you'll hit the ground running with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Seed Sower turns the ground into grassy terrain when the Pokemon is hit by an attack. This is going to be pretty useful because it's on a good Pokemon with Smoliv's evolution. Some of the names I'm still, like, even the names are already released, like Smoliv, it's just a meme, it's a blob, but the evolution's pretty strong. And no Dynamax means terrains are not going to be as prevalent, so get that set up and get good. Thermal Exchange. Boost the attack stat when the Pokemon is hit by a Fire-type move. Also, the Pokemon cannot be burned. This is on the Pseudo-Legendary Final Evolution, and when you consider it's a Dragon-dancing Pokemon, that's actually pretty good. So, can't be burned. Yeah, that's like a big way of shutting down Dragon Dance, is throwing a Will-O-Wisp at it. And Scald has been effectively removed, it's just thrown onto Volcanion now, but Mythicals aren't allowed in competitive play. So, just got some interesting stuff, like you switch it into a very easy and predictable fire move, and then you also can't get burned, you set up a Dragon Dance and you win. Will this be better than Dragonite or Gyarados or other Dragon Dancing Pokemon? Let's find out with its 87 base speed when the game comes out. Anger Shell, now this is not new, Cloth has it, and it's a light Shell Smash that activates when you're at half hit points or less. Cloth also gets Regenerator, so I don't know if you just go Shell Smash and then play into Regenerator or Citrus Berry or something, or if you actually just like Anger Shell bait, GG easy. Could also be really interesting, like if you switch Cloth into a knowingly powerful neutral hit, and then it just comes in the strong. And if it has the right speed, it just outspeeds. So it could be a great, like, switch into sweep. And I don't think we've ever seen anything like that before. Purifying Salt. So this goes on to the Salt Pokemon. It's disgusting. It's ugly. It's filthy. So you don't get status conditions, and you just also power creep into not taking as much damage from Ghost-type moves. Yeah, I had to check real quick. It's a pure Rock-type Pokemon, and it gets Recover, and it's very, very tanky. I have no idea what Game Freak was thinking, or what this thing's weakness could possibly be. Well-Baked Body. This is going to be on Fido's evolution. The Pokemon stats are pretty bad. Alcremie is just like a better Pokemon. However, Alcremie is not in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'm just kind of making a note to where this Pokemon had a lot of competitive potential. It just couldn't stand up to getting Dynamaxed and set up against, but still way better. Well-Baked Body, no damage when hit by Fire-type moves. Like, okay, that's kind of interesting. And then it gets a Defense Sharp boost. So you have like some physical tankiness, but it has a low hit point stat. Needs a lot of things to get set up. There's just too much power creep in the game to actually get something out of this Pokemon. Wind Rider. Boost Pokemon's attack stat if Tailwind takes effect, or if the Pokemon is hit by a wind move. Pokemon also takes no damage from wind moves. So that little bit at the end makes it nice. Air Slash? Nuh-uh. You don't take damage and then you just get free attack. Okay, that's pretty good. Guard Dog. So this is going to be on the Dark Dog Pokemon, the not Fido, not Grievard thing. Boost Pokemon's attack if intimidated. Sounds like it's meant to be doubles. Moves and items that would force Pokemon to switch out also failed to work. Needed a little bit extra in there, because, that's not really that great on its own. Just kind of helping out. We still don't know, like, the full details about its forms and shenanigans and how that plays. So it's, like, decent at best, and probably not that great on the Pokemon with all this other stuff going on. Rocky Payload. Powers up Rock-type moves. So we have like Steel Worker and Steely Spirit and all that, but for rock types, that's on a Flying Dark Bird. Interesting. Wind Power. The Pokemon becomes charged when it's hit by a wind move, boosting the power of the next electric type move. So this is on the Seagull electric flying Pokemon uses, and it's also procced by Tailwind. So you do have like some doubles shenanigans here, depending on like what you're eating. So yeah, you double your speed, and then you get to make up for that turn by getting a boosted electric move. It also has like a really good special, well not really good, but a pretty strong special attack stat. So if you can like survive into that setup, pull off some kind of combo, you actually might get to one-shot something and then preserve Tailwind. And then you do some damage, trade, and then you get like one extra turn of Tailwind to pull shenanigans with. I don't know. 0 to Hero, Stupid Dolphin, Commander. When Pokemon enters a battle, it goes inside of an ally. Fuck. Oh no, I just got to Commander and I realized I didn't have my profanity filter updated to censor the name. Well, I guess that's just a bit more editing for me, but we fixed that problem. So when the Pokemon enters battle, it goes inside of a thing, and then it also has commands from there. So from testing, what happens is this is going to be doubles only. You go inside the Pokemon, and then the Pokemon you go inside of is the only one that can use attacks. However, it also gains +2 to every stat and has different benefits depending on special moves and signature moves. It's crazy, it's complicated. If it works, well then, that's going to be pretty spicy combo to just throw out there for doubles, and the Pokemon that has Commander is actually viable without the bigger Pokemon. So some spiciness over there. Electromorphosis, we know about this one with Bellabolt. I talked about it in the breakdown of the stats. It takes a hit, and then it gets charged and it throws a hit. I don't know where the one-shots come in, but if something like that happens, cool for that Pokemon. Then we have Photosynthesis and Quark Drive. So the Paradox Pokemon are pretty wacky. They have these crazy overtuned Mega-like stats that also have better optimization than their counterparts, but it seems like a deliberately worse moveset and an ability that doesn't do anything unless sunlight or electric terrain comes into play. It says it activates once. I don't know if that's once per battle or once per time on the field, which means like if you reset a sun or if something happens like that, you don't just get to keep beast boosting. There are some combos with the legendary Pokemon, but that's the legendary Pokemon, so how that works is going to not be as effective. Yeah, it's a nice thing. This plays really well into Sunny Day and Chlorophyll, which could have combos into like Terrestrial Leafeon, which could get interesting. And then Quark Drive, I don't know if electric terrain actually has like super duper setup or play. So like, yeah, the Pokemon isn't outrageously busted, balanced by like its crazy stats and awkward moveset kind of balancing out with a whatever ability sometimes. Good as gold. A body of pure gold gives it full immunity to status moves. That is just outrageous. Fortunately, Gimmegoul's evolution doesn't really seem like it's that crazy, but I haven't like gone super deep into the moveset and all the potential. I just hate it so much. This is where in the last video about the stats, I just kind of like skipped over the legendary Pokemon because they're so weird. They got some crazy stats. They've got some crazy lore. Vessel of Ruin, power of the vessel lowers special attack of all Pokemon except itself. So the way this works in doubles is going to be spicy. It really seems like this affects your ally. However, if your ally is a physical attacker or doing some kind of other like statusy thing, this doesn't really matter. So the combos could be crazy. Same thing with this, okay? I'm a frail defensive sweeper. It doesn't matter if I take a physical hit because I'm dead anyways. So now like the opponent is just more softened up. Does this combo? How does this work in singles with the stats? We'll find out. Getting into everything before the game comes out and getting like all the hands-on does become overburdening, so this is going to be a wait until the moveset guide comes out, then we can really get into it, but here's a heads up as to new abilities and what they interact with the 4 legendary Pokemon. So then we have Orichalcum Pulse and Hadron Engine. It sets Harsh Sunlight when it enters, and then also has like stuff going in, boost the Pokemon's attack stat in Harsh Sunlight. Electric Terrain, boost the special attack on Electric Terrain. Fun stuff for the legendaries. And then we got a few more. Cudchew. This is going to be on Farigiraf and a few other new Pokemon. When it eats a berry, it will eat one more at the end of the next turn. Pretty nuts. Pretty crazy. Has like some combo potential. Farigiraf stats may or may not back it up. So it's something that you can kind of play, but keep an eye on it. However, we do have Armor Tail. makes the opposing Pokemon unable to use priority moves if people can set up something into Farigiraf while shutting down opponent priority. Combo potential is there, but we have seen these anti-priority abilities and moves just not really work in doubles so much. So that's the thing. Sharpness powers up slicing moves. This is going to be an ability that Gallade gets. Hisuian Samurott, Cleavor, and a new Pokemon. The new Pokemon is the Hakefish, and it's busted with its signature move. So, like, comment, subscribe, notifications, keep checking on the channel for all that fun stuff. We're going to be talking about new moves next, as long as these videos don't get, like, takedowns or strikes, etc. But Gallade getting a slicing move buff is pretty nice, and the other Pokemon that use it, also pretty nice. We have Supreme Overlord. When the Pokemon enters battle, attack and special attack are slightly boosted for each of the allies that have been defeated. This is interesting because it goes into Bisharp's evolution. I think Eviolite Bisharp will be more devastating, or maybe you come in as last Pokemon, and then you just one-shot everything on Sucker Punch, because that's how it works. Dude, how crazy would it be if, like, there is some kind of strat where you just go Dark Terastal, and then you Giga Boost into Sucker Punches on, like, Choice Band. Like, what matters at that point? Could be silly, but also if you're in that battle position, maybe the opponent just set up some Iron defenses on you so you can't do anything about it. Co-Star, when the Pokemon enters battle, copies an ally stat changes. So, Psych Up was a really cool and niche thing in other generations, and Fan Fridays got to run away with it a lot of the time. So this just comes in on an ability on the Flamingo Pokemon that just has decent stats, but if you do some cool stuff and then it comes in and then it automatically just wins the battle off of copying that, and your opponent has to deal with dual threat and can't, fine. That could actually just be really spicy and really fun. It doesn't seem like there's any information about battle replays or reverse recorder, which makes me sad, because I would love to see what people cook up with Co-Star and how many wins you can steal. Toxic Debris. This is going to be a spicy one because Poison Spikes, when the Pokemon takes damage from physical moves, it's on a decent enough Pokemon, and Toxic Spike's just not really worth it because you bring in a Poison Pokemon, it gets cleared, and you effectively lose a turn for free, while the opponent can also switch in something like a Toxapex and just not care, or an Amoonguss and just not care, or any Poison Pokemon and just not care. So there's a lot of ugly that can happen with that. However, getting it for free might make it worth it. You know, maybe an opponent ends up getting poisoned, maybe you get a few more down off of that, and it's zero cost except for the ability. So this kind of trap setting into some other, like, technical play around that Pokemon might get decent. Talked about Armor Tail. Earth Eater. This is stupid, and the Pokemon it's on is one of the fattest defense tanks ever. This is actually going to be a stupid Pokemon with stupid potential and stupid ability, and it's the Worm Pokemon, so it looks stupid. It's a Steel type. Pure Steel, if hit by ground type move, has hit points restored instead of taking damage. Bro, they gave a Steel type Pokemon Water Absorb for Earthquake. Oh. And then we have Mycelium Might, which is the most meme handicapping ability we have ever seen since Defeatist. So the Pokemon will always act more slowly when using status moves, but they will be unimpeded by the ability of the target. It should just be, like, unimpeded by ability and type, because this is going to be on the fake Tentacruel, and it's a mushroom Pokemon, so it gets Spore, but grass-type Pokemon are still immune to it. Unless, like, that's a specific thing baked into the ability, but it doesn't really seem like that. So it's a 100 base speed Pokemon that isn't allowed to use Spore on that speed. It's going to move last every time. I hate Generation 9 designs. A lot of the themes just get, like, carried away and don't become Pokemon and just become ugly for the sake of it, or refuse to make cool, interesting Pokemon out of, like, the overall idea going on there. But this, if you're going to make Land Tentacruel, why? Why waste a Pokemon? Why do it only one other time with Wiglet, have it affect no other Pokemon, copy the stats identically, and then go, oopsie, we have to ruin this thing? I don't understand. And there we go. Those are the new abilities in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, roughly what they do, and roughly the Pokemon they belong to. Hopefully not getting me a copyright strike. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Comment your thoughts down below, because there's some wild stuff. And, like, a lot of it plays into the stats of the Pokemon and the exclusive moves, and some of it gets broken. Others, it's kind of whatever, because Pokemon's whatever or something. And then it also branches out into the interactions with all the existing Pokemon, and competitive is going to be nuts. So if you guys enjoy the video, hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.